to my show, Searching for Integrity. My name really is John Smith, and I'm searching for people with integrity. Why? Because our country suffers from IDD, Integrity Deficit Disorder. We have today as our guest Jillian DeCoursey, and we have some unusual information for you, background that I'd like to fill in. Jillian, sorry. If you would like for me to give you some background for my audience, would that be okay with you?
Absolutely.
Okay. What this is Jillian is in Oklahoma, and I believe you just arrived there.
I'm based in New York, and I'm going to be in.
Okay, I thought you were on your way already. All right, my fault. What we're doing?
No, not till Sunday. Almost.
Okay. In the goal here is the Invicta Fighting Championships. It's the only all-female MMA promotion. Puts the spotlight on world-class female athletes like Jillian here, local stars like Jillian here, and talented up-and-comers. Invicta FC 49, a hard-hitting fight card boasting exciting debuts, long-awaited returns, and a hotly anticipated main event for the Atomweight title, broadcast live from Sugar Creek Casino in Hinton, Oklahoma. And that's why I'm talking to Jillian today. She is a finalist. She is going to be batting full fight for the championship. Is that right? Jillian?
That is correct. Very soon.
You speak up anytime you want to. So don't have to wait on me.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
okay.
Just let it loose. And we're having the privilege of being able to interview Jillian. And for my audience, it's an incredible possibility that we could be doing this. And as we know, we usually concentrate on integrity. But I have a way I'm going to play that for you a little later on. I have a little more introduction. You're from Long Island in New York?
Yes, I'm from Long Island.
Okay.
That's correct.
It says New York's DeCoursey emphatically made her case for a little shot with a highlight reel 61-second knockout of Lindsay Van Zant at Invicta FC 47, which I believe was last May. Apart from being
very correct.
Good. Apart from being a threat in the octagon, Jillian's full-time profession outside of fighting is running a private counseling practice as a licensed mental health counselor. She is a passionate advocate for mental health and reducing the stigma behind it. Additionally, she was a Division II college basketball player and has only been fighting in MMA as an adult. She also has 2 adorable pit bull dogs who she considers her best friends. So
you get one of them is growling right now as you say that. That's so funny.
They're listening. So you speak pit bull, huh?
I do speak pit bull. That's why I'm snapping at them right now.
This is great. I have looked at that particular moment in the May championship, which allowed you to drop into the championship slot, which is, and you had you were you unwound the world when that happened, and I soaked it all up completely.
Oh,
Now
thank
one
you.
now one thing, one I guess some person had described the punch that you had made within 1 minute of of the of the uh, of the bout, and the one I thought it was a straight on just cross, right hand cross, but
Right. Yep.
they're calling it a hook. I didn't see a
Yeah, it
hook.
wasn't really a hook. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it was a straight right hand.
that's right. That's the only way. And there's something else now. Jillian has a nickname, and it's Lionheart. And
Yes.
to me, that's heart as big as a lion. But what we may need to start calling you Lightning Lionheart. You struck like lightning. You did. You struck like lightning. And,
Thank you.
and I had a number of people on the mic that was describing the knockout and how it happened, and how something like this is for 105 pounds. For 105 pounds, it's just unbelievable what she did. But she
Yeah,
was
it's not a common thing that happens.
That's right. But you were determined. You could tell that. Very determined. And I'm pretty sure you brought all that determination with you, or going to be with you when you come into Oklahoma.
Oh, absolutely.
I grew up some in Oklahoma. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I was a high school wrestler
Oh, that's awesome. That's
in
more my
Oklahoma.
forte, like grappling.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it it's fantastic for having you, and I'm going to just kind of wing it here. I have nothing in order to do. I had a lot of people talking about you, and I pulled for a little bit from them. First of all, it's well known that you love to fight.
Yes.
And when did you get this love to fight? Did it develop?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was an athlete like my entire life, and it just fighting just kind of happened. I just started training like martial arts, and then it just happened from there. And then I did it once, and I was like, this is amazing. I really like it.
Well, it certainly is allowing you to the opportunity to have here in the championship. It's wonderful. Um, you've also talked to others, and you could describe for me, for my audience, uh, you're having a grinding style. Can you elaborate on that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just so grinding style is like kind of where you just you keep going, and you're like in close proximity, and you just try and like wear the person down.
Right, right. And I mean that's one of the objectives in the MMA. Um, I also was kind of surprised because I remember you saying that you always have the mutual respect of your opponents. Is that true? I mean, you don't have to get mad
Yeah,
at
I
them
would.
before you fight them?
No, I actually prefer not to. I don't really like to like when you have a fight when it's somebody that you really don't like as a person. I don't like that
Hmm.
energy or that vibes to come into the fight because it's a sport, right? So yeah, it's a fighting sport, but at the end of the day, we're people, right? We're living our lives outside. So I'd rather fight somebody that I respect or someone that I, like.
Yes, I understood that. The other person that I guess was eliminated from competition, this competition anyway, you had known her a very long time.
Yes. Yeah,
Um,
we had like connected a lot. We fought as amateurs. We stayed in contact. And we didn't go into the fight with bad blood, and it was nice.
you described the first round, as short as it was, of putting it all together is and elaborate on that for us, please.
So I've always been viewed as like a grappler, and like everybody knew that that was like my, my threatening point. And to be able to get a knockout, it felt like it all kind of came together where it was like, okay, look, I didn't even need to use my grappling this fight. I was able to use the completely opposite end of the game and finish it.
Well, there was a connection there. It was obvious to me that if you really did what you did, then you got the placement in the championship, and you did.
Yes, and that was the that's the ultimate goal, right?
It is, and you got there, which is fantastic. Um, I think that one of the things that has helped you had said recently over the last 8 weeks or so that you were striking a lot better because you were described to be a powerhouse from the
Right.
last 8 weeks. And can you describe that 8 weeks?
So it was like it all felt like I was like stronger, faster, like more explosive, and like when I was landing my shots, everything was landing hard. When I was doing pads, and to a point my coach was like, he had said, I think it was like maybe like a week out from that fight, he was like, that right hand is gonna hurt somebody.
That's a fact, Jack. Um, it is, it was work. You've been working on your striking, and you do have a lot of power. I was surprised with that. Boom! It was just a lot of power, and I bet your opponent didn't think about it either.
Oh no, no, absolutely not. Especially because before that fight, everybody just viewed me as a grappler.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, you've obviously showed them. Um,
Yes.
um, let's see. You had a message for Invicta after your fight. And I believe you said for a long time you've made uh, put your demand forth to get a shot at the championship after the knockout, and that came true. It turned out
Yes.
it was a convincing statement you made, and they gave you the spot.
That they did. I knew, I like to talk with like my actions instead of words. And I knew that that action like was enough to be able to now like use my words to back it up.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, you know what? I did the action. Now I can use my words to call for what I want.
Well, it happened so fast. It was so fantastic um, how you did that. You were just primed, ready. You prepared properly. Um, I think that many things come into play for every fight that you go into. Now you've reached a level that you've got to be on your best, and I probably think
Absolutely.
you got a lot of best stuff in your pockets, in your purse, and all those things. Now they're all over you.
Yeah, you try and build the toolbox every fight, right? Add more tools in there.
Uh huh. And there's probably some sessions that you have with respect to strategy with your manager, and what do you think about the opponent and what to do about it, and then how to attack it. Is that how things go?
Yeah, like my coaches usually watch like film, like I'll watch film, and then we'll all kind of come together and like collaborate on like what we think my strengths are, what we think, best courses of action are like for a specific opponent. But more recently, we've been focusing more trying to just like, okay, what are my strengths and what are we going to try and make come out in a fight no matter what the other person does.
Exactly. And stay with your strategy because you've already
Right.
had an opportunity to see what they have and how they deliver it would be one.
Right.
Um, would you, as a matter of those people, do you look at yourself as, say, more of an, this is going to sound silly, but um, are you more, what's the word I'm searching for? Um, you're not a defensive player, fighter. You're a go get 'em, and you're bringing it all out as much as you can every time you have an opportunity. Those are the words
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted to
usually the
say.
goal. Yeah, like, usually, like, I like to try and, like, bring it to the other person, not, like, just sit back and let them play their game. I try and, just be in their face in whatever way I can be.
Well, this was such a. I keep talking about it. I got to shut up.
No, you're good. I don't mind it.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's what that's what put you on the train, and that's good. And I know you have that confidence because it comes with the position now, and your
Right,
opportunity is one which is still yours. You still have the opportunity.
right.
I don't see any reason to talk about your opponent. Do you?
No, I usually try, like, to, like, focus more on me. And,
Yes.
they're doing their thing. They're gonna come in the best that they can be.
Hmm.
And I gotta be my best.
Right. Right. How much film time do you actually have in preparation? Videos?
I usually do that. Yeah, but I usually do that more at the beginning of camp, and then, like, as it gets closer to the fight, I don't do that as much because I feel like it just clouds, like, your mindset, right, and takes your focus off of
Hmm.
what you need to do in the present moment.
Right. Right. Now, I read parts of the daily routine that you go through, and the first thing was to go for a run. Uh, I used to do triathlons once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away.
But
And there was a man that you just can't run it into the ground all the way up to the bell ring. You know, you've got to be able to taper.
Right.
How do you taper?
Yep.
How do you taper?
It's Yep, so usually, like, about, like, a week or 2 out, I start to pull back, like, on, like, hard sparring, and just kinda switch over to more, like, pads and, like, calculated, like, drill work, switch up the conditioning to, like, more, like, low impact, conditioning, like doing the bike, not lifting up, trying not to put as much strain on your body so it can be as recovered as possible going into the fight.
Right, right. As much as possible. Absolutely. Um, what about nutrition? Is that something you have to stick pretty tight with?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Not everybody does. This is like my first camp that I've actually used a strict nutritionist with like a strict nutrition plan, and it requires like a lot of discipline to stay
Hmm.
on top of it. But the results have been like phenomenal. Like just like feeling better, making sure like I'm putting the right fuel into my body. Because even though I had an idea of like what I should do and how I should eat, there's a lot of things that we think are like good and healthy, but the purpose of them is not, or the timing of just to eat certain things, and having someone that's like an expert in that area has really been helpful.
Hmm. Absolutely. You know, you've reached the level now where you not only deserve that, but you got to have it. It's just
Yeah,
part of your
yeah, it's not
necessities.
really an option.
Right. That's right. It's no option. Now, when you go running, do you take the dogs with you?
It depends on where I go. Like, if I go to like the track, I can't because they're just not allowed there. But if I go like into If I'm doing like a trail run or something like that, then yeah, absolutely. They're there with me.
Mm-hmm. Great, great. I bet they enjoy it too.
Oh yeah, they love it. And then they, sometimes they're pulling me, trying to run all over the place, so I get extra workout in.
Now, let's see. You're full fighting in the atom weight. Is that right? There's a classification,
Yes.
and
Yep.
they're divided by how much you weigh or can
Right.
weigh. Okay. Can you describe those?
Yep. So I
Like what
mean, like
comes after?
there's just
Go
yep.
ahead.
So it's all different weight classes. So it's like the lowest one is atom weight, which is 105 pounds. Then the next one would be 115 pounds, which is straw weight. After straw weight, we have 125 pounds, which is flyweight. And then there's 135, which is bantamweight.
Mm-hmm. Weren't you
There's a
once?
145. Yeah, there's a
Mm-hmm.
145 pound division too, but it's just not that there's not so many females in that, and that's like a featherweight.
I see. I see. Now, you were a straw weight for a while, is that right?
Yeah, as an amateur, I did most of my fights at straw weight. A lot of that was just not really knowing I could fight any lower than that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't really like, we all cut weight to make our, usually what weight class we're in. And that I wasn't really cutting weight. I was just kind of like showing up to the fight where I was at.
Well, uh, what caused you to do that, other than you could probably do better in another classification?
It just I had one fight where I fought somebody that did cut a lot of weight, and like the size difference was like a big factor um in the
Oh boy.
fight. And it was just, and then
Mhm.
it came to know that it was like, oh wait, I can fight at a lower weight class. Like that's where I actually belong.
Mhm. How long did it take you to drop 10 pounds?
Um I mean, it takes like, I can do it. I can do 10 pounds in like a day. But
Oh,
that's just
really?
water. Yeah, that's just water, and you put it back on. So it's not actual like you lose it for the scale, but like you're not legitimately like losing it because you can't stay in that state for very long.
Right, you can't be hungry all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's not, you can be, it's just not so good for social interactions, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, I, of course, had to go through the same routine when I was a high school wrestler. It's the same thing.
Yep.
You got to make the weight.
Yep.
That's all there is. You got to make the weight,
Yeah,
or you
you got to
don't.
figure it out, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that wasn't a lot of fun, but I knew I had to do it. And
Right.
I loved wrestling. But I moved to Texas with my parents, and they didn't have wrestling in schools in Texas when I moved there.
Really?
Really?
I would think it would be big in, yeah, I would think it would be big in Texas too.
Well, it took them about another 15 years after I got there. And by then I was married and also
Wow.
with a family. So
Right.
yeah, it was, I'm glad I did it because there were a lot
Right.
of, when I went to college, all the big guys wanted to wrestle with me because I knew
Right,
how,
right.
and they didn't.
That's awesome though.
Yeah, it is. Have you thought about in any way shifting over to helping people in terms of the mental illness? Are those kinds of things that you deal with frequently?
Yep, yeah, that's what so like outside of fighting, that's pretty much what I do. That's like what really pays my bills, and it's like my other passion.
Well, it sure ought to be. Um, yeah, there's not enough of you to go around in this world that want to help people with respect to a mental problem. Um, and
Yeah.
I admire you for doing that.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I'm hoping that a lot of other people are listening to this, that they could uh, do what you do and still accomplish helping. Uh, I can't really call it a disease, but mental, well, what's the word I'm
Like
looking for?
concerns or issues, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly, exactly. And you're good at it. I would think so.
Yeah, I like to think so. I mean, I get a lot of clients I see refer other people to me, so I say that's a pretty good sign, right?
Yes, that's the way you do it. And then over time, your waiting room's going to be full.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been getting that way, which is it's good and bad. It's good because
Uh-huh.
it is a business too, but it's sad because that means that many more people are going through stuff.
Uh-huh. Well, I think that we're getting pretty close to our time being up. I've had a good time talking with you. Uh, I didn't think I could
Yes, me
learn this.
too.
I didn't think I'd learn this much in a day. My my wife says.
Aw.
um, Now your fight is actually on. Is it a week from today or a week from yesterday?
It was a
The
week from yesterday
28th.
because on a
Okay,
Wednesday. Yep.
28th. Right. Well, I think that Invicta, they also have opportunities in terms of television for the bout to be seen. Um, do you know those particularly?
Yes, it is. It's actually right on YouTube, so it's nice and easy.
Oh, okay.
Usually it's right on the homepage on YouTube, but you
Uh-huh.
can if you just type in Invicta FC, the card will come up. It's streamed for free on there.
Great, great. I intend to be watching you. And
Awesome.
with,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
well, now you have to remember that I'm watching you. I'm a determined person too.
Yes.
Well,
So I'm
thanks
gonna feel
again.
your determination through the
Absolutely,
screen.
absolutely. I have to sign off now with my listeners, and I want to thank my listeners for tuning in to Searching for Integrity. And I am saying so long to them and happy trails to all.